Welcome. You're listening to the Healthy Moving Podcast, the show all about helping you to exercise less, but move more so that you will feel better. I am your healthy moving enthusiast, Jen Hoffman of stayathomeyoga.com. Today we're chatting patience muscles. Well, you won't find them in Grey's Anatomy. We all have them. And if your patience muscles, like my own, can use some strengthening, then stay tuned. Plus, I'm going to answer a listener question about insomnia and trouble falling asleep at night. It's going to be a fun one. So my husband and daughter are currently in a local family theater production of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I saw it for the first time on opening night last week, and I really enjoyed it. I'm so proud of them. But, as theater is often apt to do, I also walked away from the show, kind of reflecting on my own life, and in particular, on one of my personality traits. See, as I watched the show, I found myself getting quite annoyed with one of the characters. Maybe you're familiar with the story and you remember Veruca Salt. She's one of the kids who gets a golden ticket, and like all of the kids that do, she has a big personality. But her personality was really annoying me. See, when Veruca doesn't get what she wants, and get it immediately, she screams and whines and stomps her feet and throws epic fits. I found myself so frustrated by her behavior. Now, I happen to know the teen playing the role, and she is an absolutely lovely person. And obviously an excellent actress, because I found Veruca obnoxious. During the intermission, I was sitting there thinking about how we often find people annoying when they remind us about something that we don't like about ourselves. And that's when it hit me. Veruca's behavior was reminding me of my own impatience. Now, I generally don't walk around stomping my feet and shouting, but so often I want what I want, and I want it now. And I know I'm not alone. I get emails from students all the time who are looking for quick fixes and fast transformations. When our health isn't where we'd like it to be, we want to improve it yesterday. It reminds me of the old axiom that begins, "The best time to plant an oak tree was 30 years ago." So often, we want something that takes a long time to build and nurture. Maybe that's our health, or maybe it's a relationship or a dream or a success of some kind. And we want it now. In our impatience, we waste time and energy and resources on quick fixes and shortcuts that don't generate the lasting, enduring change that we really desire. See, the secret to building health and all of the amazing things we want in life is the end of that old axiom. Yes, the best time to plant an oak tree was 30 years ago. But the second best time to plant an oak tree is today. We grow and develop patience by starting today. When we take the small steps, day by day, hour by hour sometimes, those bring about the big, lasting change. Try this with me. I always think of the hamstrings as the patience muscles because there's nothing fast about them. They like slow, methodical, consistent attention. You can give them that with this simple, easy to do anywhere stretch. Slide your shoes off and stand near some kind of support, a desk, a counter, or a wall. Place your hands on that support and walk your feet a few feet away. You can adjust that distance in a moment, but begin just kind of a couple feet away. Make sure that the outside edges of your feet make an 11 and not a V, and have your feet pelvis width apart. Begin to allow your pelvis and your torso to bend forward as your tailbone moves up toward the ceiling. Now stop bending when your pelvis stops moving forward. So often I see people bring their torso parallel to the floor, so their body makes an L shape, but they have to tuck the pelvis in order to do that, and that takes them out of the hamstrings and into the low back. Instead, lower down slowly and stop coming forward when your tailbone stops moving upward. That's how you ensure you're getting to those tight hamstrings. Then linger there. 5, maybe 10 breaths. While you're there, you can adjust the distance of your feet from the support, the wall or the counter. And you can also see if maybe your pelvis will tilt a little bit further forward after you've been there for a few moments. Try to do this stretch. It's often called half dog pose, 3 times a day for the next week. Supple hamstrings are critical for your health. They're important for your back health, for your pelvic floor, for your core, for your knees. It's critical. This is how you plant the oak tree today. You begin here with this simple one. I know from my personal practice that the best way for me to deal with my impatient tendencies is to experience this kind of patience on a physical level. When I slow down and take the time to make small steps toward building that foundation of health and wellness, I find myself more patient in general. So tell me, what's the oak tree that you want now? Maybe it's something related to your health, or maybe it's related to a passion or a dream. It takes time to nurture and grow. But that journey begins today. Today's listener question comes from Marilyn in Brisbane, Australia. She writes, Jen, I'm working on getting to bed earlier this year. I'm doing all the expert recommended things. I'm avoiding caffeine and alcohol. I'm minimizing noise, lights, and screens in the evening hours. And yet, it still takes me as many as 90 minutes to actually fall asleep. I don't have trouble staying asleep, so my doctor and I don't think I need a sleeping aid, but I'm wondering if you can recommend any poses that I can do, kind of like a wind down routine, to help me transition to sleep. Well, first of all, kudos to you, Marilyn, for trying to get to bed earlier. That is absolutely wonderful. So traditional yoga wisdom says that forward bends, like the half dog pose from earlier in the show, are quieting to the mind. Now, conversely, back bends are alerting, so be sure to avoid those in the late afternoon and evening hours. But try that half dog pose for a few minutes, maybe an hour before you're ready to get into bed. I'd also follow it up with a gentle, simple inversion, something like legs up the wall. You can lay so that your pelvis is far enough away from the wall that you can allow your tailbone to relax downward toward the floor rather than curl up away from the floor. Then you can have your legs straight up the wall, or you can take them wide in a V shape. But hang out there for maybe 5-10 minutes. Inversions are quite relaxing and calming. Try those out and let me know how it goes. I'm wishing you the sweetest of dreams, Marilyn. What questions do you have about how to weave healthy movement into the fabric of your day? Where are you having pain or a trouble that you have an instinct how you move could help alleviate that or make it better? Call me at 201-580-MOVE or just click the Leave Me a Message link over at healthymovingpodcast.com. I would absolutely love to answer your question on the show. While you're over at Healthy Moving Podcast, enter your email address and click the blue Get Access Now button to join me each month for a free live Healthy Moving class. March's live class is coming up very soon, so be sure to do that quickly. I also want to thank Jay Pierstoff, KCO Uber, and KS Aldrich for submitting iTunes reviews for the show this week. I really appreciate you. And I would absolutely love your feedback on the show. Please head to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and review. And please tell your family and friends about the show. We have Facebook and Twitter links over on the site to make spreading the word a breeze for you. Thank you so much for listening, friends. Until next time, keep moving.